Hi, I'm James Kennedy, and welcome to the 2IM guys with my co-host, Tony Earp.
Hi guys, thanks for being with us today. Now we've got an amazing guest, prolific product creator over the years, come up with some amazing products, and his current product is no exception. So please welcome Cyril Gupta. Hi Cyril.
Hey Tony. Hey Tony.
How are you? You okay?
Hi James. I'm good.
Cyril.
How are you guys?
Very well,
yeah,
thank you.
Pleasure to have you here, Cyril.
It's the pleasure for me too. Glad to be on the call with you finally, and it's an amazing experience talking to you guys today.
Yeah, it's our pleasure having you on the show. Really nice for you to take the time to be with us. Now, obviously, we know each other fairly well, and I'm aware of some of the amazing products you've brought out over the years. Your latest product, Webinar Loop version 2, is out very soon that we're going to discuss in a second. Before we go into that, can we just sort of ask you a little random fact about yourself, something that we don't know about you that's, a fun fact?
Okay, sure. I don't know if it's a fun fact or something interesting, but I don't know if many people know that in the industry, I'm actually a school dropout, and it's just something that I share with very few people. I dropped out of school when I was 17, and I was in the 11th grade. And just to tell you, all the other guys who are listening, don't drop out of school. It's not a good thing. For me, it was an interesting story. I started programming a long time ago when I was 15. I started writing code when I was 15, and I became this kind of a code junkie. I was totally fascinated with programming, and it seemed to me at that time like that was my calling. That was the one thing that I wanted to do. So when I was 17, me and my dad, we decided that we're gonna start a software business, creating software for our local market over there.
Yep.
And I quit school when I was 17, and I started coding commercially. I started creating software, and I actually released my first app when I was 18 years. So it took me a year to, get to the level where I could write commercial apps. But I released my first commercial app when I was 18, and it was 22 years ago. So it's been such a long time.
Wow.
Yeah, but this is fun, and whenever I think back to that time, I'm shocked at how audacious that seemed to be, because college or school or education is sort of a guarantee. But at that time, it just seemed to me that all I wanted to do was code, and this is a great opportunity. I can code today. I can write software today. So I didn't want to go through 5 years or 6 years of college and then get to work. I was just so excited, and I got to work right away. At this time, when I look back, I think it was a great decision. I don't know if I can do something like that today, break free and do something totally, unconventional today. But at that time, I did it, and really, it has paid off. It has given me this career creating software for 22 years now, and it has been a fun ride. I can say that amazing. All of those years, every single day has been amazing, and I had fun creating, writing my products, doing the things that I've been doing every single day.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much for sharing that. I'm sure that's going to inspire a lot of people out there. Guys, we're not condoning that you leave education. It takes special people to, follow their own sort of journey. But yeah, it certainly worked out for Cyril, and he's a great example of what you can achieve. Yeah. Okay, James.
Yeah, I would. Sorry to cut back, Tony.
That's
I would
fine.
just like to add to that. I think this thing many people talk about, chasing your passions, doing something that you're really interested in, and it can be anything. But of course, it has to be something productive, something that can make you money. But if you're lucky enough to have a passion that matches the market's requirements, like coding is something that the market needs, and it was easy enough for me to find work that way. So if your passion meets the market's requirements, that can be a golden thing. And by all means, and then in that case, chase your passion, achieve what you want to achieve, go for it, and you have to go for the max. I did spend a lot of hours coding. When I was like 18, I was spending on a typical day 16 hours coding every single day. And I think with that kind of work put in, I didn't. I think I put in more work, or as much work as any college student. And at that time, it's pretty much the same. So if you put in those hours, if you put in that much effort, anything can work out for you.
Yeah,
Love
with
that.
that, with that many hours coding each day, I'm surprised your eyesight's still good.
I guess I'm just lucky. It's maybe some
Very
good
much
genes
so.
from my parents. Yeah.
I love
Okay.
that attitude as well, Cyril, because at the end of the day, you're saying, I don't know if I could make that move today, because you're now 22 years on, much more advanced, probably much more financial commitments, and people, maybe a wife, children. I don't know you well personally. So, but you've got commitments there where you think, if I took a gamble now, I might not want to take that risk. And that's one of those things when you're at the bottom, the only way is up.
Sorry.
And I love that attitude, you know. But Cyril, moving on, tell us a little bit about your product. Let's find out about Webinar Loop.
Absolutely. Now, Webinar Loop, this is something that I'm really excited about. This is the second version of Webinar Loop. And, if you've seen me work on my product, if you've seen my products out there, I keep improving them all the time. So there are little tweaks, there are little improvements. I look at what's happening, who's changing the APIs. Many people, many times our products use Facebook APIs, YouTube APIs, things like that. So my team and I am working all the time to keep them abreast, with the change in technology. And sometimes, we are able to get breakthrough ideas, like we have these brainstorming moments where we talk about what we can do with the product. And in Webinar Loop, we had such an amazing breakthrough. We thought about how we could make this project, this program more valuable to people. And we discovered an entirely new way of running webinars. And I call it engagement drivers. The features that we built in Webinar Loop 2, we call them engagement drivers. And what it basically does is it makes your webinar more than just a video. Like if you think about a typical webinar, it's a live call. It's a live call. It's a live call with hundreds of people. If you're lucky, even multiple hundreds, if you got that much market and audience out there. But at the end of the day, it's just a video playing. It's just you watching a video. And, I was thinking about how we can make it better. And we found and we created ways to make it more than just a video playing. And we created a sidebar. So in Webinar Loop 2, every webinar has a nice sidebar. And on the sidebar, as you do your webinar, you can have things like information boxes, you can have little tips and tricks. You can have, like graphics and ads. So let's say you're talking about a special feature. So you can have a graphic pop up right on the sidebar, which can explain that feature. Which can be a nice little, kind of like a ad. You have seen display ads on Google. You've seen display ads on websites. You can have an ad pop up. And you can even have call to action buttons. So, one of the major things when I was running webinar on Webinar Loop and other platforms too, I was on webinar calls with other people that I was running webinar for. I found that, conventionally what we do is we show a little presentation screen at the end of the webinar, asking people, please go to this URL to buy the product. And a lot of business is lost there because people don't want to fill in URLs. You drop a link in the chat box and it's just a little thing, people don't even notice it, and we end up losing sales. So I created a call to action system. You have a nice big button with a call to action on top. On the sidebar, you can just click on that button, buy the product right in the webinar, and you can even run polls. Like if you've done any webinars, you typically notice that people do things like they will ask their audience, what do you think about this particular feature? What do you think about this particular system or market feature, whatever you're thinking about. And the idea is to get social proof, right? So then you have to say, okay, Frank thinks that this is a good idea and Herbert is saying that, and it sounds perfect, but what about having live social proof? So we created a live poll system right inside of Webinar Loop. So you can ask a question, a poll will pop up, your audience can answer the poll, and people can see live what is the common consensus on that feature. So let's say you build a new feature in a product, you're trying to promote that feature, you're trying to gauge the audience mood, you can run a poll. Sometimes, it's an interesting thing because you can easily get social proof and people can watch the meter growing. So it really influences the psyche.
I love
then
that.
There's another thing. Sorry.
I was going to say, I love
yeah,
that.
continue.
Look at the certificates behind me. It's all about hypnosis and NLP. And again, that kind of change is what they call a kind of pattern interrupt, where basically they're in the zone and they're gonna, if you're watching something for so long, after a few minutes, you kind of zone out a little bit. You don't have the same
Yes.
concentration. So if you can drop in like a poll at a certain point of time, it's a pattern interrupt. It's like, oh, I was doing this, now I'm doing that. And that then, once they've done that poll, you can bring them back into the conversation, engage them again, and you've got much more concentration, creating much more support and obviously focus on the product. Incredible, incredible.
Absolutely. James, the problem with webinars is it's not interactive content. Now, we try to make it interactive by talking to the audience, but they're not really responding to us in the same manner. We are reading out their comments. It's not like very few webinars can be live calls where actually you can have people speak to you. So that doesn't happen. So the amount of the opportunity for you to interact with your webinar attendees is very low. It's just from the chat box mostly. And with these systems, the interactivity goes on much longer. People have things to click on, people have graphics to watch. You can even have questions. So you can ask a question and you want answers, real text answers that you want to consume, you want to respond to. You can have a question. There will be a question box pop up on the sidebar. People can type their answers and you will see all those answers in real time right in your screen on this, wherever you place it. And that will help you engage your audience in a much more interactive manner, much more engaging manner. People are not just passive consumers. They're interacting with their webinar. They're talking to you. They are responding with button clicks and answers, and they're seeing all sorts of colorful, nice graphics pop up. It really changes the game because people can, have a webinar experience that is more lively. It makes people want to stay.
I think even, sorry to interrupt, I know Tony's got another question for you, but I think even watching a replay of that webinar would still feel much more interactive because of people seeing those polls. I don't know if you have that evergreen function within there. So if it's in there, it'll still even feel as if it's real life. So that's incredible, amazing. I'll hand it back over to you, Tony.
Okay, yeah, those features sound fantastic, Cyril. I've used version 1 myself personally quite a few times. So I know what a cool product it is. So version 2 sounds even better. Who would you say is your main target audience for this, your typical user?
Absolutely. Now, webinars are something that are going very mainstream, Tony. If you've seen in the last couple of years, actually, the game of internet marketing has changed quite a lot. Now that we can't really have seminars anymore when people can't get into a group together and sell to a group in a one-to-one interactive manner. Even doing sales calls, doing physical sales calls is now quite difficult. You will have to do a lot of protocols and testing and things like that. It's simply very, very difficult to get hold of a person and meet them face to face. So now this is something that will help people sell at every level. So if you are, let's say you are a product creator, you've got a digital product, you can get multiple people on call. Like you can have even as few as 10 people on call or 5 people on call or as many as 200, 250. There is no upper limit actually. People on call, you can show them the product, you can talk to them about their problems, you can discover how you can solve the problems, and you can present to a group all at once. So I would say the first of people who come to my mind are product creators. They're also affiliate marketers. Now when you think about MMO products or let's say timeshare products, or even products like network marketing based products or affiliate marketing products that involve selling something that is often untangible, that can be sold online, and you have a global audience, people can use webinars to sell them very successfully. And the best thing about webinars is it really makes selling expensive products possible. It's really impossible to sell a product worth, let's say, 20, 30 bucks, over $100 without actually talking to a person online, because they need to have some sort of relationship with you. They need to trust you. They need to believe that you can provide the value. So I would say that anyone who wants to sell a product that's more than $100, they need to do it on a webinar. And Webinar Loops makes it very easy for them to get on a call with any group audience, any such kind of audience, and get it there. Also, Tony, Webinar Loop is not just a product that's designed to deliver video to an audience. It's got all the features that you need to run a webinar from end to end. So right from sign up, it's got those amazing sign up pages, ready-made templates. You can just modify and create your own sign up page. People can go to the sign up page, sign up in a webinar to an integrated autoresponder system. So as soon as somebody signs up, and you've got a nice sequence to them. Okay, thank you for signing up. Then one day later, don't forget about your webinar. If you sign up, you're going to get, sorry, if you attend the webinar, you're going to get this or that thing. And similarly, right to the moment the webinar happens, you can have emails going out to them right from the platform. You can have SMS going out to them. So people will receive the SMS on their phone, and they will be reminded that they've got a webinar to that webinar experience. And after the webinar, you can again, engage them with another sequence. So it's not just the actual webinar event. Webinar Loop is a complete webinar marketing software. And I would say anyone who's trying to sell anything online that is of value can do this. So if you got a product that's only $10, maybe you don't need to make a webinar unless you got a audience that's like 300-400 and you're trying to sell in a very different manner. But if you're trying to sell anything of value, it doesn't matter what that is, webinars are actually the only way to go. And agency creators, product creators, coaching people who are doing memberships, people who are trying to promote affiliate products for other marketers, let's say from ClickBank or anywhere else, MMO people who are into network marketing, everyone can use this.
Yeah, I agree. And I think the demand for webinars is even greater, especially with recent events, across the world, and people looking for an affordable solution as well.
Absolutely. And here is the best thing about Webinar Loop, Tony, like James asked me, can we do webinar replays? Can we do evergreen webinars? Well, with Webinar Loop, you can actually do something we call live simulations. So you can have a recorded webinar, you can have everything done on it, including the sidebar widgets and everything is all well placed. Then you can run it to your audience, and for all practical purposes, they will see it as a live webinar. So the webinar will be actually 100% live as far as they're concerned. So you can tell them it's a live webinar, and you can take a vacation. People will think it's a live webinar, and they will get the same kind of experience. So yeah, if you can create a webinar once and keep it running, make money every week, every day, whatever
that's the
you're doing, run some ads or run Facebook groups, and that's it. So easy, right? So a Webinar Loop makes it possible to do that.
It sounds an incredible product, Cyril. There's no doubt about that. And I can tell by just obviously the first time I've actually had any interaction with you personally, I can tell you that you're a really deep thinker. So the next question I'm going to ask, I pretty much could guarantee I know the answer already. And the question is, it's a great product. It sounds as if there's a lot of stuff going on there, a lot of moving parts. Do you have full training for this?
Oh, absolutely. James, I really appreciate your kind comment about me. But I've been in this market for 8 years, and I've tried to do things right for my customers. So that includes everything: creating a product, maintaining a product. Like I've been maintaining products that I created 8 years ago, and they're still selling. I've done multiple versions of them, multiple upgrades of them, because ultimately I think if you want to be a long-term player in the market, so if I'm here since 8 years and I want to stay for 8, 16, 20, 24, 28 years, whatever, as long as the market is good, I should be here. So one of the most important commitments is to make sure that the product is good and people can use it. So yes, there is a lot of training. I don't know if I can share my screen, so let me just try.
Give me 2 seconds. So I will make you the host, Cyril. Bear with me.
Okay.
Make you the host, and you can share your screen.
Okay, so I'm going to show you something interesting, that I'm doing with training.
There you go. It's all yours.
All right. So just give me a moment. I'm going to share my screen now. All right. So this is my YouTube channel, and in this channel, what we're doing is we are making a lot of training, and people can actually see the training for all my software through playlists. So these trainings are of course integrated right inside the application too, the membership too. But for example, in Webinar Loop 2 training, we've got all these videos already there. So there are 9 videos there already, and more are being constructed. So what we actually do is we don't just lock it at the training that was created when we first ran the software. We keep creating training. So my guys are at the support desk. They're listening to people. They're asking, people are asking questions. We are talking to them. We are trying to understand what the pain points are, and based on those things, we create new videos all the time. For example, about 4 months ago, I launched a software called Pursue app, which was for cold email marketing. It was a great success. People loved it, and people are using it. Based on their feedback, I've been improving the software. I built new features. And recently we created a couple of new features in the software. Everybody got a free access to those features, of course, but we also created the training to help. So we created 2 new videos that just went live yesterday for Pursue app, where we show people how to use these features to the best benefit. And with webinar loop, they will get the same thing, you know. They will have a training that will come to them with complete details, how to use the software for the best benefit. And as the software evolves, as I hear from my customers, we're going to just add more and more training to that to make sure that people actually get the best benefit out of it.
I love that. I love that. Corey?
Yeah, I'm just going to say, as not only as a fellow vendor, but as a customer of Cyril's, because I have a few of your products myself that I use on a regular basis.
After seeing that logo, I just realised I'm a customer as well.
Well, I can categorically tell our viewers, James, that you know, Cyril takes support and training of all these products very seriously.
Yeah, and I can
Thank you so much,
that.
Tony.
And I like you using the Microsoft method. You know, the fact that we put the product out there, and then obviously we listen to our customers and we adapt and change it, and that's the best way. I've got to commend you on that, because there's so many products that come out on the market and 6 months later they're gone, and that's sometimes for me quite frustrating, especially if I bought a product in the past and I've not had a use for it at that time, but then when I go back to use it now when I need it, it's gone, it's dust.
You know, James, I really think it's a lost opportunity in our market, and I see many marketers are doing a better job of it. But here is the point: I'm selling a product to the customer. He's bought it, and if I just close it down, that customer firstly will never buy anything from me again, because he knows that he paid money for something, and I didn't provide him the service, or provided the service only for 3 months, 6 months. He won't buy it from me again. Now, the flip side, if I have this product going out to him, if he uses this product, the next month or next couple of months later or 3 months later, when I introduce a new product that he could use, he's going to buy that without a moment's hesitation. So, you know, it's really a no-brainer for me to make this product. It's not just a commitment, it makes financial and business sense too. Because if you have products that keep working, people will keep investing in my products. And that's why, you know, every time I release a product, I have a nice big Facebook comments box over there, which is, you know, a very public thing. People can comment on it, and it's not moderated at all. People can write anything from their heart, and it's always filled with people, my buyers, who say things like, you know, I bought this product from Cyril before, that product from Technic Force before, and I will be buying this one because I feel that Technic Force is going to take care of me. So yeah, it's a long-term thing for me, and I really think that everybody should do it, and it's going to just make their business more profitable.
Agreed 100%.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, Cyril, can I ask you to just sort of walk us through what the funnel is and the price points, please?
Absolutely. So I'll just give you a briefing of it.
Yeah, sure.
Instead of trying to show it. So on the front end, we've got Webinar Loop Elite, which is going to start when I launch it. It's going to start selling at $34, and the price is going to increase fast, because I always have this philosophy to reward the early buyers the most. They will get the most benefit, but after that, the price is going to increase quite a lot just after 4 hours. So the best time to get into this is the first, when it goes live. Then the first upgrade is called Webinar Loop Pro, which actually gives you a lot of unlimited things. So you can have unlimited people on the webinar, you can create unlimited webinars, you can create webinar for clients, you get an agency license also in a limited fashion. So that's the first upgrade. It's going to be at $97. And then there is the agency license, which actually lets you sell webinar loops. So people who are, who have got some audience of their own, or who know some people who could use webinar loop, they can sell webinar loop and keep all the profit. They can, accept payments any way they want. They can accept payments to their PayPal, their bank account, Bitcoin, whatever they want, and they can sell webinar loop. That's the second upgrade, and so that's the second upgrade. I'm sorry, yeah. Then we have Cloud Funnels, which is another amazing product from me to help people create funnels online. And I think this product is very practical for webinar marketers, because they will have funnels, and Cloud Funnels is the de facto standard right now for funnels in the market. So they can create their funnels in Cloud Funnels. That's the next upgrade. And finally, we have Pursue app, which is a cold email marketing software. I was just talking about it. So Pursue app's new version is out, and Pursue app can help you create cold email marketing campaigns. And this can be something really amazing to get attendees on your webinar. So you can harvest leads from the market in any way you want, but you can't just mail out to them. So you need to do cold email marketing. You need to get them through a cold campaign, and Persuade can do that very easily. So that's the entire funnel. It's just 4 OTOs, and the main product is a Webinar Loop Elite. Oh, by the way, I think I missed one product. It's the Webinar Loop template pack, which is right after agency. So in the template pack, people get, I say that if you're gonna have a webinar that works, you need to have a nice looking sign up page that's connected to your niche. So let's say you're in the pet niche, you want to have a pet themed sign up page so that people can, feel that you've got something connected and professional. So I've got a bunch of these templates, like 30, 40 templates, all packed up, nicely created. You can just modify them right inside a webinar loop. So you don't need to hire a web designer program or nothing. You can just import them into webinar loop, and you can edit them right there. You can add your graphics, you can add your logo, your call to actions, and you can have a completely customized template. So that's the template pack. It's going to be at $27, and that's going to be the next OTO after agency version.
Wow, sounds amazing.
Yeah, it does.
Thank you so much.
Can I just add, Cyril, it sounds like the template pack's a really good time saver for users as well.
Absolutely, because if you want to hire a designer to create the template, or you shop for the template, you're gonna pay a lot more. So it just makes sense. You're getting the templates for less than $1 a template. Why wouldn't you get it?
Incredible value, incredible value. Well, probably the thing that anybody that's watching this video right now is probably thinking is, Cyril, sounds amazing. When's it coming out, and where can we buy it?
Absolutely. This is going to be released on 22nd of August. And I'm sure, James, you will be able to plug in your link. So it will go live on our website, 22nd of August, 11 a.m. EST. And I hope you will be able to give the link to the audience, and people can go out and check it out. It's going to be an amazing, amazing product, like you said. And it's, again, in my view, and I think I'm not very, I'm exactly bang on. This is going to be the best webinar software in the market ever. So, I've seen all these software being released. I've created Webinar Loop 1, and when I created it at that time, it was the #1 software. It was the most powerful software. And again, I think I have made it just even more powerful. It's just, a lot ahead of anything else in the market. So this, if you're going to do webinars, if you want to do webinars online, if you want to create something of value online, I think Webinar Loop is a great, great tool to have.
Gosh, I can't wait to see it. I'm sure Tony feels the same. I mean, I know Tony's used Webinar Loop 1.
Yeah, I have. It's a great tool, yeah.
And Webinar Loop 2 sounds insane, absolutely insane. So I'm sure everybody that's watching the video right now will be absolutely jumping all over this, especially at that offer of $24 as soon as it launches. Is incredible. Now, Tony, I don't know if you want to ask something before I ask Mark.
Yeah, I did. I just wanted to clarify something with Cyril. Cyril, with the OTO2, that's a good business opportunity for the user as well, yeah?
Absolutely. I've been releasing agency versions of my software since a long time now. Since about 3-4 years, I have had this license, and people just love it because it's a no-brainer. Right after the launch, I'm going to close access to the one-time pricing. So it's going to be recurring all the way. People who join in after the launch, they're going to have to pay recurring. And my agency buyers are authorized to sell one time. So, they can actually take buyers away from me, and I don't care. They're still going to make money because they are the people who invested in the product when it first went live. And, I have a bunch of these customers who bought the agency license. They're selling it on Fiverr. They're selling it on Freelancer. They've listed it. They're running Google ads with it, and they're making money. And, some smart people are putting them on deal websites. There are a number of deal websites, or number of forums. They're advertising on forums, selling them. They're advertising on, LTD sites, able to make money. So it's a no-brainer. I think, anybody who buys agency license, they're going to get 250 licenses to sell.
Wow.
So that's like 50 cents per license.
Yeah.
The cost to them is 50 cents per license. After launch, Webinar Loop is going to be $6-7 per year recurring. So it's a no-brainer. People will be able to make money from it very easily using forum posting, using free Facebook posting, using Fiverr, using Freelancer, using Google ads, using solo ads, whatever. It's just going to be a great, great proposition, for everyone who invests in it.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic that you're giving people the opportunity to also earn income from an amazing software.
Absolutely.
Obviously built into the funnel. So I'm sure people will be interested in looking at that OTO, yeah?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think James got something. Sorry, Cyril. I think James has got one more question to ask you.
Okay,
Yeah, one more question, but definitely, as I say, the software sounds incredible at the value. Because not everybody's as talented as you, Cyril, with obviously coding skills. I would definitely need to pay someone to build that kind of software for me. So to buy that agency rights to kind of sell it on is a no-brainer. You'll probably be looking at me as a customer once again. But before I go, there's a question that I feel I can tell that you're an entrepreneurial guy. You've kind of came from similar backgrounds to me and Tony, where we've literally kind of education, we'll put that to one side and we've found our own way in the world. And I can tell you've done that as well. So I'm going to ask you quite a thought-provoking question right now. And it is this, because I want my members to be inspired, not only by your incredible technical knowledge in coding, but what you would do as an entrepreneur. So if you had to start all over again tomorrow with nothing in the world, you've got nothing other than a laptop, $100 and the knowledge inside your head, how would you go about making money as fast as you possibly could?
Okay, so I will answer that question, James, and I will draw from my life. Actually, this happened to me. This exact scenario happened to me back in 2012. I told you I've been coding since 18. I used to create a lot of software for the Indian market, and we were, doing package software. We were among the top people in our niche, and it was very nice. So we were creating software on CD-ROMs and distributing them. And back in those days, the CD-ROMs were in thing. I'm talking about the 90s, late 90s and early 2000s there. So people were just discovering CD-ROMs. Everyone had a CD-ROM drive, and all the software were being shipped on CD-ROMs. It was a great business. We made a lot of money back then. But then the scenario changed. The CD-ROMs became easily copyable, and India is a country where we didn't have a strong enforcement of IP laws. So people were just copying the CDs, and we were not making as much sales as possible. And in 2012, I had some personal events going on. So I actually left my business just like that. I left my business and I moved away from it. And I decided that I'm going to create something from scratch. I have to give up what I have. And I kind of just went to a different city and I started from zero. I decided that I will not I will not work in the business that I had earlier, and I need to create something from zero. And in the beginning, to just meet my expenses, like I was lucky, I'm lucky, I suppose. I have some skills, so I did some freelancing to meet my monthly expense. And I wasn't doing a lot of freelancing because I am a products guy. And in the core, I believe that I cannot exist without creating a product. It's just, services is not my thing. So by the time I was just working a little bit to support myself, I started creating software for the IM industry. So I had some exposure to internet marketing, not as a producer, but as a consumer. I was doing SEO to promote my other software and all those things. So I understood things because I'm also a technician. So I was seeing how things work. And I created a software called Traffic Jeet back in 2012, sitting in my apartment in Pune, with nearly no money in my pocket, and just getting enough money from freelancing that I needed to pay for my expenses. But I worked on that product, and because it was such an innovative product in its time, it was all me product. I was able to connect to a marketer, get them to work with me to sell it, and it was a success. It was a great hit at that time. Back in 2013, that's 2012 December when I launched it. It did a 140K in sales, and it was one of the first few launches on JVZoo to do 100K. At that time, 100K was not a very popular number. Maybe all across the year, there would be 6 or 7 launches that did 100K. So I was able to make it work. But again, if it happened again, all over again, I would just go back to the basics, which is my skills. It's not difficult for me to find gigs online because I am a good coder. I would probably fall back on there. I would start making a product again, something that is totally different, something that's totally new. Maybe not in the IM niche, it doesn't matter, but in a new niche where I think it's emerging, because here I'm a mature, player. I have been through a lot of ups and downs in the market, but probably I would go to AI and I would create something for that market, or create something for the emerging technologies and start doing the same thing again. So I don't know if many people can follow my path, but I think you can apply this principle if you've got any sort of skill. So I would just use my skills and put them to action and get back into the product creation mode.
Yep, that's what I was going to say. Fiverr is your friend. If you've got any skill whatsoever, you can put yourself onto those freelance platforms. Whatever you've got, somebody's going to buy it, whether it's $5, $10, $20, $30. It's enough to put food in your tummy and a roof over your head.
Absolutely. That's what I did. That's exactly what I did. When I was starting out, I was freelancing.
Cyril, great, hugely inspirational call. I'm delighted to have you on. Thank you once again for being on the call with us. I'm going to pass you over to Tony. I'm delighted with the call. It's been incredible. And I'm sure the people that are listening on our podcast and the guys that are viewing on our YouTube channel are going to be absolutely thrilled with this. Thank you so much. And I really look forward to seeing Webinar Loop 2 myself personally coming out very soon. Thank you.
Yeah, Cyril, we both really appreciate you being on the show today and taking the time out of your busy schedule. I know obviously you're coming up to your launch, and the few days before that are hectic, of course. I just want to say to the viewers that if you are interested in Webinar Loop version 2, interested in purchasing or getting more information, there will be a link below this video. Myself and James have put together an amazing bonus package to complement the product. So make sure you check that out. Yeah.
Thank you, Tony, and good luck to the viewers. I'm sure you will enjoy the Webinar Loop. And again, we are going to be there. I'm going to be there personally. My team is going to be there with 24 hours customer support. We've got live chat support for everyone. So if you have any issues with the Webinar Loop, you want to ask any questions, you can ask our chat support. And you can refer to our training programs. We're going to be there supporting you every single day and every hour of the day.
Thanks again.
Yeah, thank you, Cyril. Appreciate you being on the show.
Thank you, Cyril.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
much. See you next time.
Bye. And again, thank you everybody for tuning in. And don't forget to tune in to our future videos coming soon. We've got some great interviews and other chats with myself and Tony, talking about all sorts of things in internet marketing in general. Thanks again and have an amazing day or night. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye for now, guys.